Hey guys, and welcome to my new movie review for Star Wars The Phantom Menace, aka Episode 1. Written and directed by the one, the only, the great George Lucas. Star Wars The Phantom Menace is rated PG and the duration is 2 hours and 16 minutes. It came out in 1999. It's an action, adventure, fantasy, sci-fi movie. The cast is, now normally I'd actually talk to you about the cast in order of billing, but I'm actually going to talk to you about the importance of storyline. Jake Lloyd as Anakin Skywalker, Natalie Portman as Queen Amidala, Ian McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi, and last but definitely not least, Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn. Far out. Wow. Star Wars, you guys. One of the things that blows my mind to this day about Star Wars, literally, is the fact that there's still so many people in the world that have never seen anything to do with Star Wars. Get your head around that, guys. All the people out there that are Star Wars fans, seriously think about that. Now, what I'm actually going to do, guys, is I'm actually going to be doing from episode 1 right through until episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Now, for those of you who don't know, because you might not know, and I'm about to tell you now, this is a really interesting fact about Star Wars. You might not know this. Star Wars, A New Hope, was actually the first movie that they actually filmed, whereas Star Wars, A Phantom Menace, yes, it's the first film of all the films, but it was actually the fourth film that was filmed. So in order, Star Wars The Phantom Menace is actually technically the fourth film after the success of the first trilogy, and then the biggest reason why is, a lot of people don't understand this either, the biggest reason why George Lucas has said in multiple interviews and multiple things that he's actually stated that technology wasn't up to date yet for what he wanted Star Wars to be. That's pretty interesting. And obviously ILM and all the other incredible, brilliant crew behind Star Wars are the ones who have made it at the success it was today. But what George Lucas's vision was for Star Wars ultimately is what you now see. And obviously the new trilogy. But at the time, he only had what he could work with, and what it was is exactly what you get. Brilliant storytelling, impeccable cast, acting, chemistry. The biggest thing about Star Wars, guys, is it the key word to all key words of all films? Does it have the word, the thing? You know what I'm going to say, guys? Rewatchability. Does Star Wars have rewatchability? Yes, absolutely. Now, rewatching The Phantom Menace, something that I really found incredible, and not only was it brilliant, but I understand, guys, I understand why, and I'm going to go into this a little bit because I really get why people don't like it. I do, I get it. And it's the character, the one character, the silly character, the character that people like take him out of it, and is it still a great movie? Yeah, you know exactly who I'm talking about. You ready for it? Yeah. Jar Jar Binks. Okay, the thing that blows my mind about Jar Jar Binks, guys, is this is the part that made me go, what? Wait, why? Is the guy behind it, I think he pronounced his name Ahmed. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Ahmed Best. He was the physicality voice. He was the physicality and the voice of Jar Jar Binks. But then at the end of the day, George Lucas said, no, Jar Jar Binks is going to be completely CG. We just need a guy to give us pure reference to the actual character itself. What? Seriously? Now, speaking of CGI, which is a great segue for my next thought, this is one of the things that I still to this day cannot believe. 90% of the battle droids were completely CGI. 95% of them. Probably literally a handful of the battle droids were actually real life robots. And in fact, they actually didn't even use them in the final film because they just needed reference to literally see the physicality of what they were going to look like in the final product. What the heck? Speaking of final product, sort of final product, but again, in the terms of CGI, Yoda. What in the world? Are you kidding me? This is something that I totally understand. I get it, guys. I really get it. Why people would prefer the New Hope Yoda to the Phantom Menace Yoda purely because of the fact, once again, they used puppetry animation for him, but the final result, Yoda ended up being a CGI character. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. I'm actually really interested to know your thoughts on that. I really am genuinely interested to know, what did you think of Yoda? What did you think of him as the CGI? Did you prefer the puppet or did you like the CGI better? I'm interested to know your feedback on that. Because if you see the interaction between the characters, specifically Samuel L. Jackson with Yoda, the way they're interacting, it doesn't look like he's not looking at anything, because he's technically not. He's actually looking at a silver ball on a stick, which is what they made it as. Incredible. This is one of those movies, guys, where it's so big and vast in scale. In fact, speaking of vast in scale in terms of the universe size of Star Wars, this is what I want to talk about next. And it's actually to do with the editing of Star Wars. And it kind of, looking back at it, really made me think, wow, that's really interesting. And it's this, guys. And nowadays, they don't need to do this because the technology and computers and stuff like that is so incredibly advanced that they don't need to do the swipe technology. And I'll explain that what I mean. The swipe technology is literally when you have a scene and then you want the audience to be transported from that scene to somewhere else in the galaxy. So what George Lucas did and what their technology was purely a swipe of the screen. And then all of a sudden, you're in a completely different place. But they don't do that anymore. It's not like that. In these new movies, it's so incredibly, ridiculously smooth transition from one place to the next. You don't even realize where you were 2 minutes ago, and then now 2 seconds after that, you're in a completely different place purely because of cinema. Purely because of CGI, guys. Watching the making of Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, Episode 1, is so eye-opening. Really eye-opening. They went through so much stuff. So much ridiculousness to get to where they are, where they ended up. Oh my goodness, it was unbelievable where they were to, it was incredible. Guys, what do I think of this film as a whole? It is incredible to re-watch. You don't understand the scope and scale that went into a movie like this. The simple things that we think were just, that's just a background thing, and it wasn't even there at all. It was completely computer generated. After rewatching this, now I can't wait to watch the rest of them. But after watching Star Wars, The Phantom Menace, got me excited so much more, and I mean so much more, for the Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, purely because of the fact that where they have come from in this cinematic, brilliant, incredible universe. Unbelievable. I mean, come on, guys. It's Star Wars. Do I have to say any more, you know? Now, I kind of hope that this isn't a bad thing to talk about, but I want to talk about something really interesting really quickly here. And it's about the main cast, the main guy, the main villain, but you don't know he's a villain yet. Jake Lloyd. Jake Lloyd, apparently, after doing Star Wars, all his friends were like, oh my gosh, that's incredible. You know, they wanted to ask him a million questions because they were so excited about the fact that their friend at school was in Star Wars. He's going to be the main, boom, he's going to be the guy. He got really badly bullied, guys. Jake Lloyd got really badly bullied after that in school. He had some really messed up stuff happen. And it made me so sad. Speaking of Jake Lloyd, and this isn't a bad thing, just an interesting thing that I noticed in the Phantom Menace. At the beginning of the film, guys, you actually see him, and this is about his haircut, and I thought this was so fascinating. He's got like not a bowl cut, it's not a bowl cut, because a bowl cut is cut like right to your fringe and just goes straight around, but it's really similar to that, and it's kind of long-ish, you know what I mean? And that's right at the start of the film, and you know, he's obviously living with his mum on the planet, and you know, working for a junkyard and scrapyard or whatever like that. But then you see him at the end scene, one of the last scenes in the film, and I didn't realize it until rewatching the movie. His haircut is almost identical to Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is literally like grade 4, number 4 all over, and obviously he's starting to grow out, you know, his Padawan, you know, little hairpiece. I found that really interesting because it really showed the growth of his character from where it was to where it ended up, and I thought that was so incredibly fascinating to see that. I really, really valued George Lucas's and their costume designers' detail in that element of the movie. It was amazing. So if you guys don't know, it's really, really hard to disconnect this once you know. It is. And I'm sorry if you didn't know, because you're about to know. And I really do apologize in advance. I'm sorry about this, but I just have to let you know. Because if you don't, you're about to. The same voice of Yoda, who is actually voiced by the incredible, the brilliant, the amazing Frank Oz, also is the voice, brace yourselves for what I'm about to say, for Miss Piggy. Yeah. No. I know. See the explosion? Wow. Mind blown. Frank Oz is both the voice of Yoda and Miss Piggy. And if you re-watch it specifically Star Wars A New Hope, which is technically now Star Wars Episode 4, you really hear it in his voice. Well, I do anyway. And it's really hard to detach the voices to really see the difference. But in saying that, same guy, two completely different voices, but when you really hear it, you're like, whoa, yep, okay, I see that now. One more thing, guys, is, does Star Wars stand the test of time? Does Star Wars stand the test of time? And the answer to that question is extremely simple. Definitely. Absolutely. 100% does Star Wars stand the test of time, and it will forevermore. It's Star Wars. They have a religion on Star Wars. It's absolutely incredible. Guys, you know what time it is. For anyone who's been following me for any period of time ever, you know what time it is. Trivia time! Natalie Portman's voice was actually digitally enhanced to distinguish her from Padme Amidala. The next piece of trivia, during filming, Ewan McGregor would actually make the lightsaber noises And George Lucas explained to him many times that it would actually be put in post-production. Ewan said, I just kept getting so carried away. Next piece of trivia, guys. Liam Neeson was so eager to be in the movie that he actually signed on without even having to read the script. Next piece of trivia. Sets were actually built only as high as the actors' heads, and computer-generated image filled in the rest. Liam Neeson was so tall that he cost the set $150,000 in construction. Next one, guys. Qui-Gon Jinn's Liam Neeson's communicator is actually a redecorated Gillette shaver for women. Last one, guys. After the film's end credits, you can actually hear the sound effects of Darth Vader's breathing. One more, and I'll leave you with this, guys. You're never going to believe this, guys, but in the end credits, it says that Jabba the Hutt is actually done by, never guess, ready for it? Jabba the Hutt. Oh, that cracked me up so bad, but I heard it so bad. Guys, thank you for all my subscribers. I value it so, so much. You have no idea how much I appreciate your subscription. You guys are incredibly amazing and brilliant. I really value your time for being here. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I cannot thank you enough. For all of you who haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to click the bell for notifications. That way when I drop anything, it'll be yours straight away. You guys are incredible. I really appreciate that. Don't forget to leave a like on this movie review. Like my content, guys. I really value that so, so much. And I'll keep giving it to you as much as I possibly can in my reviews and everything. My excitement, my joy, my love. I love it. It brings me so much joy, guys. I really do. I value your time. I value you being here, watching my channel. You guys are incredible. And until my next review, don't forget to leave your comments in the comment section below what you thought about this and what you think about Star Wars. I value that so much. Don't forget who's bringing this movie review to you, guys. This is Superman Steve, guys. Flying out!